As we pause to reflect on the 20th anniversary of 9/11, we have to start with all the lives it changed. You start with the 2,977 souls that lost their lives that day, the fire department, the law enforcement members, to the other side effects of actions in Afghanistan. Mike Spann, the first intel casualty. Nathan Chapman, the first military casualty. Moms, dads, sons, daughters. There's so many stories around our country. And there's so many stories in Avantis that I've heard over the last few years of people who enlisted, people who went back to active duty, civilians going back to the Pentagon, a whole generation of our colleagues born since 9/11. Our communities in our country rallied. People began to support our troops and our first responders in unprecedented ways, really since World War II. For me, it was personal also. I immediately went back into public service after spending the first few weeks after 9/11 with the First Lady, Laura Bush. I began to help a massive post-9/11 transition at Customs and CBP. A picture here that was very personal to Customs as the U.S. Customs House was destroyed at Ground Zero. I later became one of the first employees of DHS, a new department of government designed to help 9/11 never happen again. And since, I continue to want to be a part of companies that are built to help support the missions of our country. Our nation, unified after 9/11, a whole generation of people dedicated to service, active duty, military, law enforcement, first responders, many of them here in Avantis. And in the federal contracting community, we once again linked to the missions of the government in a way we needed to. Now we're in a new chapter, 20 years later. I'm not going to comment on the world, but I do want to comment on Avantis. At Avantis, we never look to just do our part. We want to lead. We want to continue to lead our market in service of our customers and to our colleagues. This 20-year reflection allows us to think about the U.S. role in the world and our individual roles. For me personally, it's to build Avantis to be a place where we can help our government with their increasingly complex problems, international problems, interagency problems. If you just look at recent events in Afghanistan, COVID, social unrest, natural disasters, our government demands our expertise, and our colleagues need our continued sustained commitment. At Avantis, our company has done so much through DEI, employee resource groups, supporting our veterans, which are 24% of our total onboard staff, and Service Squad, to keep going. And we're going to keep going and keep expanding those efforts. We've built a company that gives our colleagues a mission-focused, safe, inclusive environment to practice their craft, whatever it is, services, to consulting, to data, to technology, space, cyber, data, missions. Anniversaries are a great time to reflect, and 9/11 allows us to do that. But for me, they're also a great time to recommit. And I want you to know at Avantis, I'm all in with you, and we're all in as a company.